Peace and blessings, family. It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Before we go any further in the video, like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I post any new videos. This is the post-game analysis for yesterday's 49th annual Bayou Classic. Excuse the background noise. It was yesterday was the 49th annual Bayou Classic. Southern won 34-17. First of all, in terms of the game, it did a lot of raining yesterday in New Orleans. So I got to the game a little bit late in terms of arriving to the Caesars Superdome. It had a pretty good atmosphere, but it didn't have that electric atmosphere when Southern was at their height of their football program, when Pete Richardson was the head coach in the mid to late 90s. It had a good feel, but it just didn't have that electric atmosphere like maybe going to the LDBC meet and greet, or just that epic atmosphere they had like in the mid to late 90s. So it didn't have that. It had a little buzz, but not to the degree it used to have at one point. It seems like kind of gradually over the years, like the Classic has kind of lost its luster a little bit, but it was a pretty good atmosphere. Of course, like I said, I got there a little bit late, got there during the first quarter. The score it was a scoreless game at that point. But just from the time I arrived, it seemed like Southern just kind of, as usual, they played down to the level of their competition. And in addition to that, I don't know if they were looking past Grambling to potentially Jackson State, or maybe they just came out flat. But I mean, they really didn't play well in my estimation. I kind of feel like they just kind of survived more than they won. They were up, and it seemed like just late in the game that Grambling, inopportune turnovers for Grambling, and in addition to that, just costly penalties kind of cost Grambling the game. One of my big takeaways from an X's and O's standpoint, Southern struggled to stop the run game the entire game. And seemed like when it came to certain formations, anytime Grambling ran out of run-heavy formations, certain points in the game, Grambling went I, double tight, strong I, double tight, ace, double tight. They lined up in a pistol wing tee on a couple of occasions. They went ace, double tight from a shotgun formation. Anytime they really lined up in run-heavy formations, Southern struggled to stop the run. Southern was able to stop them on a couple of occasions, but they really didn't stop them on a consistent basis. That's why Grambling had so much success on the ground. Most of Grambling's success in terms of their offense, it came on the ground game, and it really gave Southern a lot of problems in terms of stopping the run. Seems as if playing against FAMU and playing against Jackson State and Alcorn State, seemed like those games kind of exposed Southern's run defense, because seemed like Grambling came in with a game plan in terms of just trying to stop the run, and they did a great job of doing that. Not doing that, I'm sorry. Grambling did a great job of just running the ball. Seems like at a certain point they were able to run the ball at will. Southern really just struggled stopping the run. For Grambling, in terms of the play of the game, which we talked about yesterday, Southern's running back, Floyd Chalk the Ford, he was Grambling's player of the game. He had 8 carries for 120 yards. Seems like he just had just big play after big play. I felt like Grambling, if they would have stuck with the running game and they would have gave him more touches, Grambling could have won that game easily. I know they were trying to really offset the running game and the passing game. They didn't want to just run the ball, but if Southern isn't stopping it on a consistent basis, why not just keep running the ball? from a coaching perspective, that was the thing I just kept looking at. I'm like, if you're having that much success running the ball, why not just keep running it? And Gramblin's quarterback, Julian Calvez, he played a decent game. He was 7-17, and he played decent, but late in the game, he had a couple critical turnovers that kind of helped Southern. He also ran the ball pretty decent for Grambling. Now on Southern's end, of course, Southern won. They played the game with Bashawn McCray. He had like 17 carries for like, I think 92, 93 yards. For 97 yards. He ran the ball. Southern, they didn't have much success passing the ball. That's why I see them playing against Jackson State this coming weekend. I really think they're going to struggle just generating enough offense because Southern is a run-heavy team. And Jackson State, they're number one in the SWAC in terms of rush defense. So it's difficult to run the ball against Jackson State at times. And the fact that Southern really doesn't have a potent passing game or a passing game that could really keep you honest in terms of you not being able to load up the box to stop the run. I think that's going to be problematic. And then in their first matchup against Jackson State, one of the critical issues and key issues that Southern had was the fact that when Jackson State was sending an extra defender, Southern's offensive line had, problems picking up that extra defender, whether it was run blitz, or just especially in terms of when Southern was in like third and long situations. They struggled in that regard all throughout the course of the season, but definitely against Jackson State. When Jackson State was sending that extra blitzer, then Southern wasn't able to pick up the blitz. And even yesterday, anytime Southern was in third and long situations, Southern really struggled. So it's imperative that for this weekend's SWAC championship game that Southern keeps it in third manageable type situation, whether it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 5 or less, because anytime it's obvious that Southern has to throw the ball on the field, Southern struggle. In the passing game, I thought they were going to really get Cassius Allen and August Petrie III. I really thought they were going to get him involved, but Southern really stuck to the running game. They made a few timely passes, but for the most part, that really was kind of both teams' MO. Both teams were like real run-heavy, both Southern and Grambling. And each of them, they made a couple timely passing plays just to kind of keep you honest, just so they can get back to the running game. But for the most part, neither team really did a lot of passing of the ball. They mostly just kind of stuck to the run game, both Southern and Grambling. So for Southern moving past the Bayou Classic, because like I said, the score really doesn't indicate how close the game really was. At one point in the fourth quarter, it was a one-score game. Southern was up. It was like 3rd and 1 situation, and Coach Dooley made a questionable play call. In my opinion, it was 3rd and 1. Southern is a run-heavy team. It was an obvious run situation all year. Southern, if it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3 or less, Southern would just run the ball, and Grambling really hadn't had to that point had any success stopping them in those type of situations. But instead of Southern running the ball, Southern decided to pass the ball, which to me was a silly decision. Southern threw the ball, they faked the read option, and they ran a sprint pass to the short side of the field. And it kind of had a feeling like it was a critical point in the game because Southern was only up 1 score. They were up by 4 points. And Southern had to punt the ball. Grambling ended up getting the ball back. But of course, Grambling couldn't capitalize. And then the crazy thing about it was Grambling had some costly penalties and some costly turnovers late in the game. Southern had a pick 6, and Southern had a scooping score. Grambling fumbled the ball. Southern picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown, and then Southern had a pick 6. By that point, once Southern was up 2 scores, when Southern went up 2 scores, a lot of Grambling fans left. And then once Southern got the final touchdown, it was a mass exodus for the exit. for all Grambling fans and even for some of the Southern fans, because a lot of individuals, they were trying to beat the traffic, because in New Orleans, for the Bayou Classic, NOPD, they shut down a lot of streets. So in many instances, you can only go one way in certain instances. So if they shut down this street, the next street may be a one-way street, so you might have to go 2 streets or 2 blocks over to go in that particular direction. So a lot of fans, since they knew the game pretty much was practically over, they pretty much headed for the exit. And by that point, the game pretty much was over. And then Calvas threw a pick 6 late because he was trying to make something happen. But by that point, the game was over. So my next video, I'm pretty much going to break down a rematch between Southern and Jackson State. This time it's for the SWAC championship. Hopefully Southern could play better and Southern could make some adjustments. Like I said, Southern, they did a pretty decent job, pretty good job running the ball. But in terms of picking up the blitz and just staying out of third and long situations, Southern definitely going to need to improve in that area. And one area that Southern struggled with the whole season, they had a lot of kind of little silly penalties. They're going to pretty much need to play a perfect game if they're going to win against Jackson State. I think Jackson State is definitely a beatable team, but in terms of talent, it's obvious that they're head and shoulders above every other team in the SWAC. And Southern is going to have a extremely impressive and faultless performance if they're going to be successful against Jackson State. So that's pretty much it for this video. Like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Again, it's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC. Hopefully you have a blessed and prosperous weekend and a blessed and prosperous week to come. Peace and blessings.